Aloha, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Today we are reprogramming the energy of letting people down. Before I start, I would love to ask you how you feel when you hear letting people down. Do you feel like it's something that you do? Do you feel like it's something that you're afraid to do? Do you feel like you're the one who's always being let down? It's probably all three. We're human and we interact with other humans, and it's probably all three. Can I grab a tiny taste of water? Oh, so good. Oh my God, so good. Hey, before we start, your water is here for you. Before you take a sip of water, thank it, give it gratitude, ask it for what you're looking for. Thank you for the wealth. Thank you so much for the abundance. Thank you for the light and the protection. Thank you so much. Feel it in your cell, feel it vibrate in your cells, all of them. And then know that now that's what you're drinking. So anyhow, here we go. Let's begin. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And again, let me know in the comments how you feel about letting people down. Is it something that you do? Is it something that you're afraid to do? Is it something that you've had done to you? Probably all three. You're welcome to write all three. I've always been afraid to let people down. In fact, I feel like that's all I've done all my life. Is that truth? Of course not. But it is an energy of guilt, right? Letting people down. Oh my God, I did it. I didn't give enough. So it's also the energy of I'm not enough. Oh, I let them down. It's my responsibility to lift them up. Do you see this? So the guys are like, let them all down, friends. Let them all down. Because what we're doing is lifting that weight and sitting it right up there on our shoulders. And we are taking responsibility for how others are, how others feel, how others interact with the world and be in the world. It is not our responsibility. Let's look at them one at a time. So, do you let people down? You have to realize it's not your responsibility to hold anybody up. And you think that breaking commitments, rescheduling plans, totally flaking, look at that within you and decide why that's happening for you. But also remember that so many times, and this happens to me a lot, I'll plan on something and I'll have plans with somebody, and then one of us that day or the day before or whatever says, you know what, I have to reschedule, I'm sorry, it's not going to work out for me, can we reschedule? And inevitably it works out better in the end. Inevitably, yes, I wanted to reschedule, or they've needed, something came up for them, or whatever it is, it's better for both. So letting people down is, imagine it. If you think you have to hold somebody up, they're sitting on your shoulders, let them down. They can take care of themselves. In fact, they need to. So then this gets into enabling, right? If you're always doing something for somebody who really could be doing that for themselves and it's draining you, you think that by not doing it, you're letting them down, which is going to make you feel worse. And you know what? It might right away, because you're changing something. You're changing an energetic. You're changing really the power energetic between a couple of people. But if you continue to drain yourself for the benefit of someone else, that weight on your shoulders of them, because you don't want to let them down, is going to continue to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, and eventually they're going to be down anyway. So we have to, as a species, stop feeling like other people are our responsibility. This is slightly different if you are a parent and you have young children. I am talking about adults here. I'm talking about other adults. I'm talking about if you're a teenager watching this and you don't want to let your friends down because you said you were going to do something, but then it feels really like, oh no, I really don't want to do that. You have to remember, all of us have to remember that what's best for us as an individual, if from that space of love and centeredness within our own being, if our soul is telling us something is best for us, it is best for the whole. If we do something against our soul, we're dragging everyone down with us. Remember, if they're on your shoulders and you're getting drained, you're going down, 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 down. They are too, because they're on your shoulders. So if you actually just let them down, they can rise on their own, they can figure it out, they have to be responsible for their own emotions. If you let them down, they will rise up on their own, if they're meant to rise up. We try to control our environment way too much. Way too much. We do not have to control so much. It's simply not necessary. And it's stressful. And when we're in stress, we're not going to make the best decisions that we can make. Therefore, again, that is not necessarily for the best for humanity. Eventually, everything works out in the end. Eventually, it does. It just doesn't have to be such a struggle. So if you're afraid of letting people down, or if you feel like you have let people down, I have no idea why I feel like I've let people down, but it is an energy in me, right? It's this guilty, it's this I didn't give enough, or I'm not giving enough, or I'm doing too much, and then I'm feeling resentful, or whatever it may be. Whatever energy arises when you're in this place of, oh my God, I'm letting people down, I must be letting people down because I'm feeling so low. Actually, it probably means that you're not letting people down and you need to. If you're feeling so low, check yourself. Who is on your shoulders? Is the whole world on your shoulders? Maybe. Let it down. Atlas got it. You don't have to, right? You know, you're not Atlas. Don't put yourself in that position. Let Atlas do Atlas' job. You do yours. Take care of you. If you're afraid of letting people down, we're encouraging you to try it and see what happens and be honest. You're actually letting people down when you're not being honest with yourself and with them, because again, you're holding them on your shoulders and you're draining. So you're falling, they're falling. We all have to rise up. And if they're not ready to rise up, give them that grace. Maybe they're not ready to rise up. Maybe it's not their time. Maybe it's not their turn. Maybe there's another dark night they need to get through. But you do not have to pull their weight. You don't have to. Obviously, we are here to uplift each other. That's not the same energy, though. We're here to uplift. We're not here to pick up and carry on our shoulders. It's not healthy, even. If you feel like others have let you down, are you depending on them to lift you up? Take that one in. Breathe in. Take a deep breath. Who am I depending on to keep me lifted up? If that isn't yourself, if that isn't God, you're putting a lot of pressure on somebody. And you're sitting on their shoulders, and it's draining them just like it does you when you have people on yours. And if they're being drained, they're going to go like this, and then you're going to be down. So either way, if you feel like they're letting you down, really check in. What did I need from that person? And where can I get it for myself? And maybe that's sitting in your room for 3 days straight crying your eyes out, because there's gunk in there that needs to be released and removed. And we are in a time right now where we're all being squeezed. All of us who are here to anchor in the fifth dimensional reality are being squeezed. And it's the word I'm using is unsettling. Basically, we've been settled into the 3D, whether we like that or not. That's what we were born into. That's the conditioning and the programming and the lives and the culture and the condition that we were born into as light workers. We were meant to be born into that because we needed the contrast in order to recognize what we don't want and recognize what we're moving away from. We're moving into fifth dimensional frequencies. Woo, it's all exciting, right? Except for the fact is that means everyone that you've held on your shoulders, everything that you've held on your shoulders, and every belief inside you that resonates at 3D, you have to let down. There's literally no choice here. We are in a period of letting down everything that is not for our highest good. And that means the emotions of self-hatred and loathing and unforgiveness, all of those things, the doubts, the fears, all of that, they're being purged. It's like we're being squeezed out, we're being wrung out. And it can feel really unsettling because what we're moving to, there's really no precedence for. And therefore we're sitting here like, okay, I know I'm leaving this bad old stuff, but what am I moving toward? What am I moving into? And it's this blank wall, or it's this black hole of abyss where you're just like, I don't see anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. Why should I let go of something that I know is, how do I want to say, it's certainly not stable, but it's a place to have your feet. You can have your feet in the 3D. It's just really uncomfortable, but at least you're on something. Whereas in this shifting time right now, if we jump off of the 3D, which I highly recommend, even though it's really scary, because our ego is just like, what am I grabbing onto? I'm not going to do this if I can't grab onto something. But our soul is like, it's okay, just breathe. And you're like, oh, F you, soul. In a way, sometimes. But if you've learned to trust your soul, then you know it's fine. Or even if you didn't learn to trust your soul and you don't know, but you're like, I'm done with this crappy, heavy, dense, fear-based BS. I'm moving on. It's scary because we don't know where we're moving to. We've never seen it because we've never been there. As enlightened as you think you may be, and I am sure you are, I really am. This is a whole new energy on this whole new world. A whole new world. Sorry. And it's something that the whole planet hasn't seen before. At least not in millennia or eons, if ever. So really keep breathing, center in yourself, and let it down. Let the people down. They will rise up if they are meant to rise up, and this is where you have to release your attachment to having those people rise up with you. In the tiniest little things. In the tiniest little things. Oh, I'm going to let them down if I don't sweep the floor. Do it then. If sweeping the floor is going to cause you heartache, this is kind of a weird example, then don't do it and let somebody down and see what happens. See if they can find their own footing, and from their own footing, then they can jump. They can't jump off your shoulders. You're holding them. Let them down. And if you think somebody's let you down, good. God, good. Now you're on the floor. Now you can jump from the floor. You don't have to stay with them if they're still on the floor. You can jump. You're gonna find your tribe. Oh my gosh, let's program this, okay? I'm like, okay, time to reprogram. We're gonna do a meditation that you can get if you sign up for the 10 rewrites. Right now they're called for soulpreneurs, but really they're for anybody who is shifting into the 5D consciousness and anchoring that in for the earth. You can get that at beingboundless.com. There are 3 ways. You can either go to boundless.com/rewrites, or you can go to just beingboundless.com. On the main page there, scroll all the way down and sign up. Or if you go to beingboundless.com and act like you're leaving, a pop-up will pop up and say, oh, oops, wait, didn't you want this? That's not exactly what it says, but you can sign up for it that way. Any way works perfectly. It's 10 different things that you can rewrite in your subconscious, and you have the opportunity to receive this meditation written down. You can also purchase it for $25. So close your eyes, or you can come and do it on this video, whatever. Close your eyes, and we're gonna work with this pillar, this mindset belief. So when I say pillar, I'm talking about a belief. And the belief is in letting people down. And whatever that means for you. So if I'm afraid of letting people down, then the pillar is letting people down is bad. Or if it's I've been let down and people owe me, then that's basically what the pillar is. I've been let down and people owe me. So feel into that, and also the answer might come to you during the meditation, so you don't have to get too worked up about what that is. I'm going to grab a little bit of water first. I invite you to do the same and actually drink a lot of water afterwards too. If you're reprogramming, you want to make sure the fluids in your body are circulating, and remember to activate that water with your intention. And I'll get comfortable. Lying down is okay, but I encourage you to sit tall. And you're going to call up that pillar, so you're calling up that belief of letting people down is bad, or I've been let down and I'm the victim, basically. So the cool thing about the pillar is that it creates a shadow, and the shadow is actually how you feel. So the feeling, the emotion is the shadow. It's not a bad thing. It's pointing out to you, hey, you have this construct, this pillar, this belief, that's really bad for you. And then the feeling is terrible because it feels like crap. It feels kind of shameful to have been lifted up and been in a posture or in a position where that concept is kind of ruling. So that's what I see as the shadow. I know there are a lot of different ways you can look at it, but that's evolved for me. So we're going to take that pillar, and you're going to close your eyes again if you have opened them, and take a deep breath. And this pillar gets really small in your hand. So you can just hold it, this belief. Oh yeah, letting down. Okay, great. Now you're going to imagine a tube of light that goes down and goes up. And we're going to start by digging into the earth. We're going to dive into the earth. So leave your body and allow your energy body to float down among the rocks and the roots, down through the layers of the earth, among the crystals and the gems, and the coal becoming diamonds. Go all the way down, and down, and down. And when you get to the molten core of the earth, take a moment to realize and remember that it is from the fire the phoenix rises. And as we take the energy of the phoenix with us, we'll rise up. So rise up, back among the gemstones, rising up through the layers of the crust of the earth and among the rocks, and then among the roots, and rise back up into your body, and through your body, rising up now into the air, And you continue rising, looking back as you see your body get smaller and smaller. You're rising up through the layers of the atmosphere. And soon the pull of Earth's gravity lessens and lessens and frees you to rise up. So your gaze rises upward. And you fly free up through the tube of light, up and up and up. At the edge of the universe, you come upon a great white building. You stand in front of the door and know that this is a time of great transformation. Feeling gratitude. You open the door and step into the most beautiful blue room you've ever seen. The color is so calming and uplifting and comforting all at once. Your guides are there to greet you. And they show you to a table in the middle of the room where your inner child, your soul, and your shadow sit, patiently waiting for your arrival. Your guide leads you to sit down and place your pillar, that belief, that letting go, in the center of the table. And so you set it there and take a few moments to tell your inner child, tell your soul, and tell your shadow what it means to you. And do so now. Maybe you tell them you feel guilty. You feel like it's up to you to make others happy. Or you feel like you're not good enough if you don't give enough, if you let people down in that way. Whatever it is for you is exactly right. It's your pillar. And you see these other parts of you, the child and the soul and the shadow. Look with compassion. As you turn to the inner child, it knows where that pillar, that belief came from in the first place, this life or another. And your inner child is ready to let you know. So turn to it and allow that inner child to tell you where this pillar, this belief, came from in the first place. This might be a collective energy that you're holding on to, conditioning from childhood, maybe a conditioning from religion. I saw the apple scene and how, because I'm a woman, I may have let that piece of evidence of letting down creep into my subconscious when I was a child. And even though I know it isn't true, it's still there on the subconscious level. Whatever your inner child shared with you is exactly right for you. Thank her or him because this information is priceless. It's so much easier to change something once you understand why it's there. And now turn to your soul who sits in front of you with so much love. There's so much love here. Your soul knows the real, true pillar that is meant to be in place of that belief. And you see this pillar form in front of your eyes. It is beautiful, it is brilliant, it is crystal, and leaves no shadow. Feel the energy of this pillar. Integrate the energy of this true belief. I am meant to be me and need do nothing to uplift others. Being me uplifts the world. Something to that effect, whatever your soul gives you is correct. Feel it. Notice if the pillar made a design or a shape. Feel its crystalline goodness. It's almost a liquid love that can flow into you. And integrate it. The little pillar that you brought with you is completely gone. You don't know where it went, and you don't need to because it's irrelevant. Now you feel the truth, and you turn to your shadow, for your shadow is so grateful that you finally paid attention. Your shadow was only there to let you know about this pillar that you can change, and you've changed it. Oh, what a relief for both of you. Embrace your shadow as your shadow embraces you, and it basically dissolves and integrates into you at this higher level of love and wholeness and truth. And then you turn to your inner child and you see the smile on your inner child's face, and you hug each other, embrace as she or he dissolves and integrates and transmute into this truth within you as well. And as you turn to your soul with the biggest smile and the biggest sense of love and gratitude, your guide comes forward with a new contract to sign with your soul, saying this pillar is now the pillar of my truth. It is now the pillar that holds me in a position of my goodness and of my light and of my integrity. You are so ready to sign this contract. Grab the pen that your guide is giving you, sign your name. And as you hand the pen to your soul is this wonderful part of you that speaks in the language of yes and no. And this is in alignment with your soul. So of course your soul signs yes. Yes. And as you hand the contract back to your guide, it is brought to your Akashic record file and placed in the file. It is done, and it is so, and you embrace your soul and you integrate with your soul, and you are centered and in integrity now with the highest aspect of who you are. And you thank your guides with so much love and gratitude, and you look around the room once more, this beautiful blue place, and you know that you're transformed. It's time to go back home. So you walk to the door and open it. And you step into the beam of light that really you are. You come down and down and down. You're down toward your body, and you start to really feel a very gentle pull, and that's the Earth's gravity welcoming you home, and you fly through the layers of atmosphere, and you see your body as a tiny little dot, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you are there in your body. And you take a breath, and you feel the essence of the new pillar, and as you exhale, let every last little particle of what might be left from that last pillar, let it just float down into the center of the earth to burn up in the fires of transformation. And take another deep inhale, filling yourself with light and love. And exhale. Bring your awareness into your body and wiggle a little bit. Touch your body a little bit just to bring yourself back. You can touch your feet, grounding yourself back down. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So if you're afraid of letting people down, or you feel like people have let you down, or you know you've let people down, forgiveness is key. And also there is such an amazing freedom when you drop this perception of letting people down. You are so much more than you know. We love you so much more than you know. And we hope that you have a feeling and a sense of light and grace now with this new pillar. It is yours. You might want to journal the phrase that came to you that this pillar is representing, or that represents this pillar to you. You might want to journal what your inner child shadow said. Well, your shadow doesn't really say much because your shadow's been talking to you for a long time with those emotions, but maybe your soul said something. Journal your journey, and feel free to come back in the group, the Gathering of Boundless Souls, and let me know what it said. Again, if you'd like 10 different things to rewrite, you can go to boundless.com/rewrites, or just on the main page, scroll down, or pretend like you're gonna exit out of it, and you will be invited to sign up for that. You have the opportunity then to also get this meditation. Thank you so much for being here. And I don't just mean on this video, on this live or recording. I mean on Earth at this time. What a wild ride. But it will be worth it in the end. It is worth it right now. As long as you are in your center and your integrity of your soul, don't worry about letting people down. They are on their own journey as well. Their journey is not up to you. If people have let you down, don't worry about them. Jump from where you are. If they want to come with, they will. If they don't want to come with, they won't. Doesn't matter, because we're really all connected. We all will get to the same place eventually. Get time out of your mind. Time is just fake. It's just the thing that we're playing with in this dimension. And really in fifth dimension too, we're still going to have the concept of it. It's not going to go away completely, but it's going to be a very different sense, because we're focusing on timing, not on time itself. Don't know if that makes sense. Maybe that's a future little channel I'll do. Until next time, my friends, thank you so much for being boundless with me. Sat Nam.